Hi everyone. I wanted to spend some time on this example, and so I took it out of the original lecture video so we can focus on it more. And there's so much to unpack here, and the example teaches us a lot. So it's saying the temperature sensor samples every 1 second. Processing takes 100,000 cycles at 100 megahertz at 1.8 volt. And the sleep mode is at 1 megahertz with 10 microamp. Compare energy with and without sleep. Okay. So first of all, we have to recognize that we have two modes of operation. So I'm going to come here. So we have mode active, and then we have mode sleep or idle, whatever you want to call it. Okay, then here we know that the current in the active mode is proportional to frequency. Okay, so current is proportional to the frequency current that we use. You might remember that before we introduced a coefficient called beta before, where we said I is equal to beta, which was the 244 microamp over megahertz multiplied by the frequency in megahertz. This was a typical number, 244 for STM32 when it was active. Okay, so this is the numerical current. Then when we are in idle or sleep mode, what happens is that the only current that exists is the leakage current, and it's constant. So you can kind of call this I leakage, which here is given to us as 10 microamp. When we are active, the power that exists is the dynamic power, right? And then in idle, it's only static power. We have a static power in active mode too, but it's not the dominant one. Okay, so now what we want to do is calculate the power for each of these two modes. So let's go. Power active. In the active mode, so we said power is always VI, right? V is 1.8 volt multiplied by 244 microamp over megahertz multiplied by 100 megahertz. If you do this calculation, it's going to be 4392 milliwatt. Now, power for a sleep is going to be again VI. V is the same, but I is drastically lower. Here, if you calculate it, this means 24.4 milliamp. But here, in the sleep mode, it's only 10 micron. So this is 18 microwatt. Okay? Now, in order to find the energy, we need to multiply power to time. Okay? And that's the key here, to see how much of the time we need to be active, or the sensor needs to be active, and how much of it can sleep, right? So between every sample, 1 second of sample, we have to see how much of it is T active and how much of it is T idle. So we can use this idle again to reduce the power. T active, well, it's given to us that the processing takes 100,000 cycles at 100 megahertz, right? So this is the period of each cycle, which is 1 over F. This is period of each cycle. And then, so this is going to be 10 to the power of minus 3 seconds, or 1 millisecond. And 1 second is 1,000 millisecond. So every sample that we take, we actually So every sample, per sample, we spent 1 millisecond of it processing, and 990 millisecond of it, we are idle. Okay. Now, if without the sleep mode, we are treating both of these two times the same thing. We are saying 1000 millisecond of active power, which is 43.92. Or let me just go back a little bit. Without the sleep mode, E is going to be all E active, which is going to be P active multiplied by time active. Okay? Which is T active in this case is actually going to be the full sample time. So E active is going to be 43.92 milliwatt multiplied by 1000 millisecond, which is going to be 43.92 millijoules. Now let's go and see if we were using sleep mode. When we are idle, we were going to sleep. And that's perfect because we only have 1 millisecond of processing, 999 millisecond of idle. Even with the deepest sleep, we can, this is still a good deal to go to sleep and then spend like, let's say 200 microsecond to wake up, right? So now let's go to E. Say when with sleep, we can actually implement and say that E with the sleep is P active multiplied by T active plus P idle multiplied by T idle. So now E with the sleep is going to be 43.92. I'm really at the edge here, so it's going to be interesting to write. 43 milliwatt multiplied by 1 millisecond plus what was our 18 microwatt multiplied by 999 millisecond. And this is going to be, I just calculated it before, so let me just pull that up. I can do this. So this is about 43.92 microjoule, and this is almost 43.90 microjoule plus 18 multiplied by 999. This is 61.9 microjoule. So we went from 43.92 millijoule to 61.9 microjoule. If we do the ratio, this is it, 43.92 multiplied by 1000 over 61.9. This is, between these two, is almost 710 times less of energy. So when we go and look at, what this means in terms of battery life, right? What is this in battery life? Okay, now let's see how can we translate battery capacity to battery life, okay? So usually the charge capacity is given to us in milliamp hour. We shouldn't confuse this with energy. In order to get the energy in watt hour, we can multiply that number by the voltage of the supply or the voltage reference. And then to get to joules, we can do watt hour multiplied by 3600. So this is basically energy was power multiplied by time. Power was VI, this is time. And here time is given to us in hour. Okay, now let's say the battery that we are given is CR2302, which is at, it is rated at 225 milliamp at 3 volt. Okay, so let's find how much energy this battery and this coin cell is actually holding. The total energy of it is, again, energy is power multiplied by time. Power is VI multiplied by time. So that's 225 milliamp multiplied by 3 volt. Let's say we have 1 hour, okay? And then we can multiply this by 3600 to get to seconds. This is second per hour. Okay, so this is going to be 2430 joules. So the total energy that this battery has is 2430 joules. Now let's find how much this battery would last for our temperature sensor if we were going to do it just active all the time, or we were implementing the sleep mode. Okay, so without sleep, which meant active all the time, for every sample, E sample, we needed 43.92 millijoules. How many samples is that? In 1 hour, the energy we have, the battery E of battery over the E of each sample is going to be 2430 joules over 43.92 millijoules. That is going to be 2430 over 43.92 multiplied by 1000. That's about 55,327 samples, which is each sample, remember that each sample takes 1 second, right? So that means about 55,327 over 36,000 or 3600, sorry, that's about 15 hours. Did I do that right? 1 second. I think so. Okay, so 15 hours, almost. Now, what if we were doing it with sleep? In that case, we had 1 millisecond of active time and then 999 millisecond of idle time, which in that case, we said for every sample, we would need only 61.9 microjoule. Right? Yes. Now let's see how much sampling we can do with this level of energy for every sample. So that's 2430 61.9 multiplied by 10 to the power of 6 over 3600. That's about 10,904 hours, which is, if you divide it by 24, is going to be 454 days, which is actually more than a year, right? So we can see here how much this would last. We went from less than an operation, less than a day, to operation more than a year. So you can see the benefit of a sleep mode here. I hope this example helped you. We'll solve more examples before exams.